The Krathos Armada had never known defeat. For 3,000 cycles they had swept across the Orion Arm, subjugating species after species with overwhelming force. Their reputation alone was often enough to secure surrender before a single shot was fired. But humanity had refused to kneel. Fleet Commander Zethkar stood on the bridge of the flagship Eternal Dominion, his four eyes gleaming with satisfaction as he surveyed the tactical display. 847 warships, the largest punitive fleet ever assembled by the Krathos Empire, hung in formation at the edge of Earth's solar system. Each vessel bristled with weapons capable of cracking planets, shields that could withstand the fury of stars. The humans believed themselves special, Zethkar growled to his officers. They think their brief resistance in the Centauri skirmishes makes them warriors. Today we teach them the price of defiance. On Earth, in the underground command center known as Deep Shield, Captain Elsa Remy sat perfectly still, her fingers dancing across holographic controls. Around her, dozens of officers moved with practiced efficiency, their faces grim but determined. The weight of humanity's survival rested on decisions made in this room. "Ma'am, the Krathos fleet is holding position at marker 77, her tactical officer reported. They're broadcasting surrender demands on all frequencies. Elsa's jaw tightened. The demands were simple: total capitulation, dismantling of all human military forces, and integration into the Krathos Empire as a subject species. Slavery in all but name. Time until they enter weapons range?" she asked. 90 seconds at current acceleration patterns. Elsa had spent 5 years preparing for this moment. While the Krathos had been content to rely on their technological superiority, humanity had done what it always did when faced with extinction: adapt, innovate, and find a way to win against impossible odds. "Admiral Chen, status of Project Ghostlight?" From a secure channel, Admiral Chen's weathered face appeared. "All nodes are online, Captain. We have perfect synchronization across the array, waiting for your command." The Krathos had made a fatal assumption. They believed that 3,000 years of conquest made them invincible, that their numbers and firepower were insurmountable. They had studied human military capabilities and found them wanting. But they had never asked the right question. What had humanity been doing for the past 5 years while diplomatic talks dragged on? "Fleet is entering weapons range," the tactical officer announced. "They're charging primary batteries." Elsa took a breath. In the war games, simulations, and endless planning sessions, this moment had been theoretical. Now it was terrifyingly real. 847 ships against one world, the entire human species holding its breath. "Execute Ghostlight," she said quietly. "Full power." Across Earth's surface and throughout the solar system, seemingly innocuous installations hummed to life. Mining stations on asteroids, terraforming platforms on Mars, deep space monitoring satellites, all revealed their true purpose. They weren't infrastructure. They were nodes in the most sophisticated weapons network ever conceived. The genius of Ghostlight wasn't in raw power. It was in understanding. For 5 years, every time a Krathos ship had passed through human-monitored space, its quantum signature had been recorded, analyzed, and cataloged. Humanity had built a database of every vessel in their fleet, mapped the unique quantum frequencies of their shields, engines, and weapon systems, and humanity had learned to weaponize quantum entanglement. On the bridge of the Eternal Dominion, Zethkar was about to order the attack when his sensor officer made a confused sound. "Commander, I'm reading massive energy spikes throughout the human system. Multiple sources, but the signatures are—" "I don't understand these readings," Zethkar sneered. Desperation. "They're trying to—" He never finished the sentence. Across the vast expanse of space, the Ghostlight network achieved quantum lock on every single Krathos vessel simultaneously. The system didn't fire projectiles or beams. Instead, it created localized quantum disruption fields tuned precisely to the unique signatures of each ship. The Krathos shields, designed to repel external forces, suddenly found themselves fighting against contradictions in their own quantum states. Engines trying to maintain position received conflicting instructions from their own systems. Weapons charging found their containment fields inverted. In 47 seconds, 847 warships experienced simultaneous catastrophic failures across all critical systems. Explosions blossomed like deadly flowers throughout the fleet. Some ships simply went dark, their crews helpless in the void. Others tore themselves apart as their own power systems went critical. The flagship Eternal Dominion split in half, its mighty frame unable to withstand the internal contradictions forced upon it. In Deep Shield, displays showed the complete dissolution of the Krathos Armada. Officers stared in stunned silence. They had known Ghostlight would work. The simulations had been clear. But seeing the largest fleet ever assembled reduced to debris in less than a minute was something else entirely. Elsa's hands were steady, but her voice carried the weight of what they'd just done. Tactical begin rescue operations for Krathos survivors. Medical teams to stand by. Communications. Open a channel to the Krathos High Command. When the connection established, Elsa looked into the camera with eyes that had seen humanity brought to the brink. This is Captain Elsa Remy of Earth Defense Command. Your fleet came to teach us a lesson. Instead, you've learned one. Humanity doesn't make the same mistake twice. We spent 5 years studying you, understanding you, and preparing for this moment. She leaned forward slightly. We're rescuing your survivors because that's who we are. But transmit this message to every species in the Empire. Earth is not for conquest. We seek peace, but we will never submit. Come as friends or don't come at all. There won't be a third option. The channel closed. Admiral Chen's face reappeared on her screen, expression unreadable. The Krathos will respond. Maybe not today, but eventually. Elsa nodded slowly. Let them. We've proven something today. Humanity doesn't win by being the strongest or the most advanced. We win by being smarter, more determined, and unwilling to accept defeat. They sent 847 warships to break us. She looked at the tactical display, at the debris field that had been an armada. It took 47 seconds to show them why that was a mistake. ND.